Luis Sandoval, FightHype.com, here with the one and only Fernando Feroz Vargas. First of all, Fernando, talk to me about this gym, man. I know you opened it, I think, earlier this year. Talk to me a little bit about what you're trying to do out here in Las Vegas with the gym.
Well, you know what? I opened Feroz Fight Factory about a year ago. You're correct. You know, I made it in the hood. Why? Because, you know, if there wasn't a gym in La Colonia where I got a chance in the hood, there would be no Fernando Vargas. And, you know, I was a troubled kid, in trouble, locked up in juvenile hall. And one day, when I was suspended from school for fighting, I was able to watch, you know, I was watching TV because I was suspended from school for fighting, and I saw amateur boxing. I saw kids my age, the age of 10 years old, with as young as 8 years old, fighting with headgears and trophies, and I couldn't even believe it.
Wow.
You know, this is a kid that I was a kid that already had multiple batteries, doing hundreds of hours of community service. And that day, my life changed. I walked to the gym the next day. It took me about an hour to walk 4.5 miles as a 10-year-old kid, but I did it every day. I didn't care, you know what I mean? Because I knew when I started fighting, I was like, man, I could do this. It's like because I always like fighting in the streets. So next thing you know, I was you know, born. You know what I mean? Yeah. My life changed, and instead of being in trouble all the time, I started doing good because if not, I couldn't go to the gym. So that's how my life changed in boxing.
Do we see you now maybe as a trainer now? Do you want to, is that kind of what you want to do? Find somebody and train them and put them up to like the level you got?
Absolutely, I got great talent, you know, that's in my hands right now. Caesar the Great. You guys are gonna see a lot of this young kid. Also, you know, my son Fernando Vargas Jr. is fighting. He's 2-0 with his last fight. He stopped the kid. He's a southpaw. And my second son Emiliano, my third son Emiliano, Fernando Vargas, El General. He's a 4-0. So he's got a head start on everybody else. But then my second son Amado, you know, he's this type of kid that does everything great, you know, and after a while he just gets bored. You know, he comes in here and he's like, you don't train, you don't work out. He did one fight, but then, you know, he don't want to work out. He said, nah, Dad, I love boxing. I love boxing, I love to fight, but I just hate the diet. Yeah. I go, son, there's nothing in life that you can do that's going to become easy and that doesn't take sacrifice. You know what I mean? If it doesn't take sacrifice, it's not gonna be. It's nothing. You know what I mean? So every fighter, every world champion, son, I tell them that, you know, that's been world champions has gone through a struggle to get there. You know, every fighter has a story. So I'm like. So he was like, no, Dad, I don't want to do it, you know. So I'm like, then don't do it. You know what I mean? You're good. But he did one fight. He gave the kid an 8 count also. But I mean, he's a very talented kid, but he don't want to fight. So I'm supporting him in whatever he wants to do. You know, all my kids, you know, colleges are paid for. Thanks, you know, God, the good Lord, the great Lord. You know what I mean? I was able to put away money for them to make sure that the colleges are paid for. So. Whatever it is, you're not gonna just be a kid that's not gonna graduate from high school. You're gonna graduate and go to college. So, regardless if you don't want to box, you're gonna go to school. So, pick one.
Awesome, man. Awesome.